You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 234. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm Jeff Barnard, the goofy super podcaster. You'll see why later.
Comic Reflections is brought to you by The Outhousers. You can find our show and other neat content at theouthousers.com. And if you enjoy this program, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review us on either iTunes or Stitcher.
Okay.
Yes. So, Superman time.
Yep.
All right. And the first comic we're going to talk about today is Action Comics number 246, cover dated November of 1958, cover art, penciled by Curt Swan, and inked by Stan Kaye. And, Jeff, describe this cover a little bit, would you?
I was looking at it, and I'm just amazed how much I liked it. We have a couple, man and wife, sending their baby away, just like they did with young Superman. And they just look really cool and concerned, and they're just really well done. And,
yeah, and we have Superman swooping down upon this scene.
Yeah.
So it's...
Why is this happening? So,
right.
Yeah.
It definitely makes you want to read the comic. Mm-hmm. So it has served its purpose.
And the Doom from Krypton, it's not really Doom from Krypton. But
right. I think sometimes they're like, oh, call it this, and then it ends up being something else. Sometimes the cover blurb announces it as one title and ends up being called something else.
It's Krypton on Earth from the splash panel. So.
That's correct. And Krypton on Earth was written by Otto Binder, penciled by Wayne Boring, and inked by Stan Kaye.
All right, so there is a Krypton island, which is based on Krypton.
Well, on Earth, but it's based on the memory of Krypton.
Yeah, and it looks the same way. And Perry White sends Clark to check it out. But then Clark says, oh, this is a job for Superman.
Yeah, and it's a touristy kind of attraction. Like, oh, come and live in this, gated community or whatever that we're building.
In Oregon, I think near Bend, there's going to be a Hobbit town.
Really?
Yeah, and they kind of made a Hobbit-looking things, and of course, the crash happened, and so now it's defunct.
Oh, of what, 2007 Bat Crash?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And they had this huge balloon of Superman, which is there still is a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade Superman balloon, right?
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is coming up soon.
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. They use it for advertising. I wonder if this is before or after. That'd be interesting to look it up, because that thing's old.
Here, keep talking. I'll actually look it up.
Okay. So they're looking at, and he sees his parents, who are not his parents, or people playing his parents, and talking about, with their kid, and he meets the king. What is his name? Thor Call. Oh, but that's not my real name. I'm just pretending this. I'm Jonas Smith. And he shows Clark Kent around. It's atomic powered. The atomic power station is in the middle of the city, which is great. And let's see, what else? There are no criminals because the FBI checks all their fingerprints, except for the King's, who is really, what's his name? Swindler Smith. So they crown...
So it looks like the Superman balloon was at least goes back to 1939.
Really?
Yeah.
Good God.
So Superman was such a phenomenon. It happened that quickly.
Yeah.
Because he debuted in 1938, right?
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So they crown Superman as king of Krypton on Earth. And there's a Kryptonian flag and all kinds of neat stuff. There's moving sidewalks, and there's it's a lighthouse in the form of a Superman statue that shoots beams out of his eyes, but the beams actually try to sink a ship, so Superman fixes that. And then he sees the Sergeant Jor-El and his wife Laura and their baby son, and they reenact that, which kind of makes Superman kind of sad to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he gets the king, the fake king, gets Superman to do some stunts to impress the crowds. And Superman never minds doing this. He always I guess he enjoys it.
Or it's not like a big... How could he be put out? He's Superman.
Right.
Nothing is really that big of a deal.
Well, last stuff we did was Fantastic Four, and they got bored with it. really quick, and they're not even.
Yeah. But, Superman comics are a different animal,
Right.
and that's kind of the point.
I'd show off too, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, he gets they try a sawmill blade on him, and it doesn't work. And he lifts up 2 elephants that are in
Like a plastic bubble or something,
yeah.
and it's in a weird, like dumbbell type of shape.
Mm-hmm.
Lifting up like a
And he shoots a steel ball like a spitball thrower through a tube and goes through stone, concrete, and steel all at the same time.
Could steel go through steel? At the right velocity or whatever?
Yeah, it does all the time.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Enough force, on a small object going through. Yeah.
Okay.
Then he says, make these pieces of coal into diamonds. Says, okay. So he shows those off, and then says, I'll destroy them now, because if I make too many diamonds, I can make millions of them, and then it destroy the value of diamonds.
Yeah, which are artificially inflated anyway.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But he could mess up the diamond market by, letting those circulate.
Right. Okay. Now, then we see the ending of the rocket taking Kal-El off of Krypton. And Superman's really sad here.
Now this is a demonstration in a real fake rocket.
Right, and they see it looks like they're putting a kid in there, but it's actually a wax dummy.
Okay.
And they show, they have this kind of globe that looks like Krypton, and they float it over the stadium, and it blows up, and it blows up too soon, and Superman's got to save everybody with his huge expanding cape.
Right. He stretches out the cape over like poles or something and has it catch all the debris.
Yeah. Superman actually uses his cape. I don't know anyone else who uses their cape for anything.
Nobody else has a cape that has these properties that could do a thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's kind of silly because couldn't he catch all the pieces at super speed?
Yeah, but then he's got this cape.
Right.
Come on, that's cool.
Okay.
Okay, so when he made the diamonds, the fake king takes the real diamonds and puts fake diamonds in. So when Superman destroys them, does he ray?
He was just melting glass.
Right. But maybe she had noticed something, but maybe.
Yeah. So that
had a busy day.
But that was the whole plan. The huckster built this whole island city in an overly elaborate plan, just so he could get Superman to make diamonds for him.
Yeah, and $1 million, and he probably spent $1 million easy making the atomic power.
Yeah, let alone all the other things that to build a city. Now, granted, he probably had investors, but still.
Yeah, but I think that he was going to milk Superman out
to continue and again. Yeah. Well,
but even so, this is convoluted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. Okay, the fake king spills some ink, and Superman gets his thumbprint, and he has the brain power to remember everything, which is amazing. But this guy's actually a crook.
But here's the thing. Remember last time we talked about Superman? There was that guy from the city of Kandor who posed as Superman, and then Lois asked him a question like, "Oh, what about this guy with an eye patch?" I was like, I see bust a lot of guys. Superman couldn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of stumbled.
Yeah.
Oh wait, but he that's right. He didn't remember, and I'm using air quotes on purpose, so he could catch the guy and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay.
So it works. Go ahead.
Okay. The king has some kryptonite, and he's killing Superman, but he leaves conveniently. Superman is dying, so he sees the balloon carrying the Kryptonian flag, and he brings it to him and grabs on, and the balloons fly him away.
Right, away from the kryptonite.
Right. So then Superman goes and finds the bad guys and fixes things, and the city of Krypton, which I think we never see again.
I don't think we do either.
But the people who bought in can still stay there, so still a city.
Yeah, so those people weren't like bilked out of all that money, which is cool. So on to our next issue, because we're not doing any of the non-Superman backups from these. Is Action Comics number 247, cover dated December of 1958. With cover art penciled by Kurt Swan and inked by Stan Kay. And the story is called Superman's Lost Parents. Written by Otto Binder, with art by, penciled and inked, by Al Plastino.
Okay. Apparently, Mom and Pa Kent have a scientist visit him, and he just happens to have a time machine. So they go back forward in the time to visit their son when he's grown up.
Yeah.
So actually, they're not Mom and Pa Kent, they're crooks. And they invent a fake time machine to fool Clark into giving away his identity, which is an interesting plan.
They'd figured out already that was adopted by Mom and Pa Kent.
Yeah.
So this was confirming their suspicion that it was Clark Kent.
Right. And if they did it, other people must have as well.
Right. These are fairly common criminals. I mean, they're con artists. But I mean, like, Lex Luthor, who was way smarter than them, would have figured it out.
Yeah. Although Lana Lang did. But, or thinks she did. So.
Yeah, Pete Ross knows.
Mm-hmm. So, but the idea that scientist visit, he has a time machine. Yay! So Mom and Pa Kent have a good time with Superman. He takes him to Fortress of Solitude, and he mentions the key disguised as an airplane marker, but he's using a big key, key that I could lift up.
It doesn't look like the big airplane marker looking key that we normally see.
Mm-hmm.
The consistency hasn't really gelled yet with this concept, which is a little disappointing. But these little things will go away in time.
So he's impressing his parents, like he's taking a bath with molten lava to clean. That's how he cleans his outfit, which is pretty cool. Actually.
Yeah.
Although I think there's an easier way of doing it, and he rides a dinosaur from another planet, and then he has a tug of war with atomic-powered robots. Only 10 of them, and I need to get a dozen more or so.
Yeah, because Superman's power would be growing exponentially because he's constantly storing up solar energy.
Oh,
it's interesting that they never played with the idea of he can't his powers wouldn't work at night or something.
Mm-hmm. That would be bad, and that'd be a nice juxtaposition with Batman. He usually works at night.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom and Pa Kent goes into a room in memory of the parents of Superman, and it's his Kryptonian parents.
Right.
And they felt, oh, this is kind of embarrassing. And Superman says, hey, no, this is yours, in memory of the Earth parents of Superman.
Right.
So they go back into Metropolis, and they have a meal. Lois comes by with a pie, and Pa Kent says, oh, yeah, to Mary, she's a good cook. And then Clark as Superman, sees a railroad car containing an elephant and his handler going into trouble. And this would really concern 8-year-old boys at the time.
Sure.
An elephant is in trouble? No. Actually, I guess it would today, too. But
yeah, I mean, I'd be concerned. Elephants are great.
Yeah. So, Clark asks Pa Kent to do something, and so Pa Kent drops scalding hot coffee on Lois, who has to leave to change her dress.
Wow.
So that works. So he fixes that, and this is where we find out that they're really crooks.
Yeah, and I like it. I was kind of disappointed that you gave that away right away.
Yeah.
Because this is a really interesting turn, because I bought it.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like 8 pages in, then it's all, well, actually, we were evil.
Yeah.
We were just fooling him.
All right.
So they're going to blackmail him to keep his sacred identity.
Mm-hmm. So they tell Superman they cannot bring anything back because Superman gives them a golden trophy, and that's because the time machine won't let them.
Yeah.
And the reason why they don't do that because Superboy would have noticed the trophy.
Yeah.
And that's what. So they can't bring it back. So Superman comes back after saving the elephant. I know you were worried, and he shows them all the Superman robots, and they only have one. The robots only have one strength, super strength, or one thing they can do. Super strength, X-ray vision, flying, and super breath.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
I think in this example, each robot has only one power. Typically, when Superman has employed the robots, they have the full range of powers.
Mm-hmm.
To a lesser degree than Superman,
Right.
obviously, but they can do all those things. And it's usually so he can be in two places at once.
Yeah.
Or get rid of kryptonite or things like that.
Yeah. Pa Kent asked for some kryptonite so they can take it back and invent an antidote. So Superman says, "Sure, I'll do that."
Even though it's not like Superboy couldn't find them some in their own timeline.
True. I didn't
Yeah,
think of
but
that.
since these are criminals, we know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of that.
Yeah. And Superman thinks of something else too. So Mom and Pa can have to leave, so they leave. They just roll the ball. It's a ball.
Yeah.
And they just roll it out of the way. I mean, it's a big ball, a glass ball.
Yeah.
And Superman's looking at the trophy game and says, "Wait a minute. They couldn't take this back, but they brought back the kryptonite. Was it all a hoax?" Then he finds the big ball.
Yeah.
And they call him and say, "Hey, we want $5 million in jewels and gold and platinum." So Superman goes around, finding all that stuff. Let's see. He goes to where there's molten silver in pools. So he gets out, he jumps in, gets out, and hardens, and he breaks it open. Then he does it again and gets enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So he drops down the loot. And they showing the kryptonite. So Ma Kent, or whoever she is going to town, but she carries a little bit of kryptonite to protect her. Superman has Ma and Pa Kent robots.
Right.
So he has a Ma Kent robot tell Pa Kent to forget everything that happened.
Yeah, he uses the robot to hypnotize him. And he sends a Pa Kent robot after Millicent, as the fake Ma Kent.
And I roll forget.
Yeah.
So they forget everything, and it's Superman's kind of bummed out about this. It is a nice, bittersweet story. He's so happy that his parents came to visit.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, it's somebody trying to trick me and get something out of me again.
Yeah.
That would hurt so bad.
Right, it would.
To see your dead parents alive again, and then, oh, it's a foolie.
Yeah, and Superman's a really good man, because I would have killed him.
Yeah.
I would have killed him slow. Okay.
Yeah.
For something like that, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But that was good. I liked it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So on to this next issue we've got. It's Superman number 126, cover dated January of 1959, cover art, penciled by Kurt Swan and inked by Stan K. And let's talk about this cover.
It's fantastic. It's
What's
awesome.
happening on this cover?
Oh, Superman's sitting down in front of some scientists, and he's getting zapped in the brain by some kind of beam that looks really cool.
Yeah, like a Tesla coil or something. It's awesome.
Yeah. And apparently it's not working.
Well, okay. So anyway, the lead story in this issue is called Superman's Hunt for Clark Kent. And this was written by Otto Binder, penciled by Wayne Boring, and inked by Stan K.
Clark Kent takes a vacation because he needs to find an antidote to kryptonite. Because he sees kryptonite trap nearly ends Superman's life today in the Daily Planet. So he goes to Fortress Solitude with the real key this time.
Yeah, the one that we know and love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got some kind of concoction and it's about to blow up, so he takes it outside, and it does blow up, and he loses his memory.
Uh-oh.
He gets attacked by a polar bear, and nothing happens to him. And then he falls off the cliff, and he can fly. So he goes into town, and someone says, "Is it a bird? A plane?" "No, it's Superman." "Oh, my name's Superman."
Oh, well, that's one thing.
Yeah. Do people really...
How would he remember to know how to use his powers?
It's accidentally.
Okay.
Because he falls off, and then he starts flying.
Oh, okay. So it's like muscle memory.
So he goes to the Superman Museum. Man, wouldn't you want to go to the Superman Museum?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd even settle for the Flash Museum.
Yeah. Okay.
So, which there is one of that. I mean, in comics.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
All right. So he's seen the super strength, the super breath, the X-ray vision, and the super speed. So he knows everything about it. And then he reads that Superman is in disguise as somebody, a regular person.
Right.
But how do they know this?
How do they know that?
Because, if he's in disguise...
If he's just like he just shows up when there's trouble, why would the people...
Oh, by the way, I have a secret alter ego that I will not tell you about. No, you don't tell anybody about that.
And he doesn't. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because they know he has a secret identity, but, well...
How? Okay, so...
Well, Lois is always trying to figure out who he is, remember?
Yeah, because she thinks that Clark is Superman.
Yeah, but...
But that doesn't mean he has to have a secret identity.
Right, I mean, how should anybody know that he's not just Superman all the time out doing things?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah? All right.
Okay.
All right, there's problems going on at Clark's apartment where the landlady is getting the place painted. And there's a secret closet with all of his Superman stuff. So
and I thought that was really weird. Like, okay, I understand that Clark keeps kind of a fake apartment to have in Metropolis that he doesn't really live at. Why would he keep any of his Superman stuff there?
Well, he probably needs some stuff because it takes a while to go to the Fortress of Solitude, get the key out.
Shouldn't take any time at all. He is Superman.
Yeah. Well,
he can travel at super speed.
Yeah. What he has is Superman trophies, danger, kryptonite chips. Robot 1 and another robot.
Yeah, that's right. He has a Clark Kent robot. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So Clark...
I wonder, you know how his robots have the powers, but to a lesser degree?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the Clark Kent robot has powers.
Huh. Well, he's a robot, so he's got to do something. I don't know.
Just something to think about.
Yeah. So Superman said, well, I got to pretend to be somebody else for a while. And he sees this Englishman who gained a lot of weight.
On his trip to the States.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
And so, I got one suit of these clothes that don't fit, so I have to give it away. So he gives it away to Superman.
What's weird is the Superman, puts on the suit, okay. But the guy wears a monocle and a pipe.
Yeah.
And Superman has now a monocle and a pipe, too. He didn't outgrow the pipe or the monocle.
Yeah. Or maybe he had an extra one or something like that.
But that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. I got a better pipe in America, so you can have my old one or something.
Right. And ew, you want somebody's used pipe?
I guess you can clean it and all that. I mean, if I could buy a 100-year-old pipe that's really cool, I wouldn't mind just clean it out and just use it. So,
okay.
But, it's not as bad as a cigarette butt or something.
Okay.
So he becomes Clarence Kelvin, CK.
What an odd coincidence.
Yeah. Although he may be thinking about that in his mind.
Subconsciously, he must know. Because he hasn't lost the memory. They're just suppressed right now.
Right.
He's amnesic, right?
Yeah. So he gets a job at the Daily Planet, which is, all right, so he can have all the jobs he wants to, but he becomes a reporter at the exact place.
Yeah.
Taking over from Clark when he's on vacation.
Right.
Yeah. And Lois talks about the biggest scoop you could ever bring in was Superman's secret identity.
And so, this guy, what does he say?
Oh, yes, I wish, I knew it, and I really mean it, says Clarence. Uh-oh, the painters have found a secret hideaway, but they can't get into it. So Superman, as he usually does, sees somebody in trouble, people being eaten by a whale, and says, I gotta go, it's tea time. Aha, you British never miss that, do you?
Wow.
Superman saves him. So, yeah. And
Jimmy's not in this story, is he?
We see him one time.
Oh, okay, because I know there's Perry and Lois, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we see him meeting Clarence, and that's it.
Okay.
Which would have been a good thing. It would have been a cool story just in that. They could have done 100 editions with Clarence. That'd have been interesting, I think.
Can you imagine if that was an ongoing plot thread?
Yeah.
Will Superman remember that he's Clark Kent?
Yeah.
Who has totally lost his job?
Yeah. Superman asks help from scientists to get a super shock. So they blast him with stuff, and then nothing works. Oh, put him in a shatterproof bell jar with exploding bomb, and nothing happens. And they propel him out of a cannon into a brick wall, and his head doesn't do anything. Let's see. Goes into liquefied hydrogen. Ice cold plunge, and ice cold does not describe liquid nitrogen. It is like
No, it's much colder than ice, actually.
yeah. And it should have said super ice cold, and then it'd be correct.
Right.
Superman says, "Hey, why don't I go into the future?" And this focusing lens, and in the past, whatever, and he uses a focusing lens and sees what happened, and he says, "Oh, here's something I did I don't remember doing, and there I am. I'm Clark Kent." And so he goes to his apartment and he finds some people that the painters are finally found out how to get into the secret compartment.
Here's the weird thing about that, though. You hire somebody to paint a room, they don't go rooting through your things, one would think.
Yeah.
You didn't check the references?
Yeah, it could be nosy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you find something like that, I'd be interested, you know? It's a boring job. Painting is horrendously boring. That's why there's so many painters who are alcoholics.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it's almost famous among contractors. That,
Yeah.
paint.
I imagine it'd be so tedious.
So Superman stops him, and then he goes back to the Daily Planet as Clarence, and he sees Lois coming, so he does super fast typing, and Lois notices and says, "Yes, I'm Superman, and now I'll change into another alter ego, so when you'll never be able to find me." And Lois says, "Oh yeah, I guess he can do that." So
Yeah.
which is kind of
I think it's great. She exposes that dang it's Clarence Kelvin, but you'll never see Clarence Kelvin again.
right.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I like that a lot.
Yeah. All right. Here's a question.
Okay.
We did not see Superman gain his memory back.
Right. No. He saw something that jogged his memory. He saw himself in the past. Oh, I'm Clark Kent, and then everything came back to him.
Oh, it does fully restore.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay. I was so excited about the. Actually, I was kind of worried about are the painters going to get into his hidey hole?
Really?
Yeah, and I missed that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay.
All right. So on to the next story, which is called.
Oh man.
Oh, just hang on. It's called The Spell of the Shandu Clock. It was written by Jerry Coleman, penciled by Wayne Boring, and inked by Stan Kay. And this is a weird one.
Yeah, it's
I
very golden agey.
Yeah, it's
The way
not.
things look and are.
Well, Wayne Boring's, Superman look is a little more old-fashioned. It's definitely, it's very 1950s, and I think you'll see, once we get to the 1960s stuff, they still use Wayne Boring, but Kurt Swan definitely becomes the main Superman artist, as opposed to Boring, who is, I think, the main one right now. So.
Okay. All right. I'm going to read this out because it's really complicated. So.
Okay. Oh, your notes.
Okay, yeah. Supes breaks into a seance and exposes Shandu as a fraud.
No, it's not a seance.
Well,
He's giving a stage performance.
Yeah.
Which I thought was
But
really...
No, it's not. But it's not a stage performance. It's supposedly he's doing real magic.
Yeah, but he didn't... What I thought was weird is Superman's busting it up, but this guy's not committing a crime.
Unless he's pretending that it's real. Then it's a crime.
Well, people have paid to see this guy create these illusions or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have a point. But
Do you go to a magic show and think wow, they really soldered it in half and put it back together? It's actually magic. Of course, you know it's a trick.
But he is saying it's not magic, and he's.
Okay.
No, I'm trying to give them benefit of doubt.
Okay.
It's hard.
You're getting
but
really...
you do have a point. Okay.
You're so agitated right now.
Oh, you broke my concentration. It's a complicated. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shandu is exposed. He vows revenge. Shandu dies, but before that he makes a magic clock, and so Supes, Jimmy, and Lois check out. It's a very goofball clock. It's a genie with a clock in its mouth. Man.
Yeah, it's weird looking.
Yeah. At 11 o'clock, Superman comes out and hits the gong with his head, which is goofball. Jimmy really doesn't do anything except, hey, this is going on. Superman becomes a lifeless robot, like person.
Okay.
And he goes...
The real Superman?
Yeah, the real Superman.
Okay.
And he goes and busts a mountain with his head. And let's see. He had some more wacky stuff. So he's acting really goofy. But this lets some criminals get cocky and use their sonic vibrator super crime weapon. And Superman saves the day because it turns out that Shandu was actually a buddy of Superman's.
And this was all a trap to kind of trick flush some actual criminals out into the open.
Right.
So they could be caught.
Mm-hmm. That was convoluted.
Yes, it was. I mean, it's not like Superman couldn't have stopped a robbery.
Right.
He's Superman. They were going to commit it anyway, right?
Yeah. Or then maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well.
Ugh. So.
But, yeah, interesting draw.
So, the last story we've got to talk about today, this is fun. It's called The Two Faces of Superman, written again by Jerry Coleman, with art by Kurt Schaffenberger on pencils and inks.
Yeah. The first, splash panel, it's about half the page, had these buy U.S. bonds by giving Superman a kiss. And these girls are leaving, says, I wouldn't kiss that creep, but they paid me. They'll never, yeah. Let me out. They'll never sell bonds that way.
And Lois is like, man,
she's got like $20 in her hand. She's getting a lot of kisses.
Yeah.
All right. Lois gets a phone call and finds out that she has a blind date. Right, 2 hours before she has a date with Superman. So she's kind of mad. So, I'll just ruin the first date and then I'll go up to Superman. So
yeah, she'll make the date end quickly. I don't know why she couldn't just say, I have a date with Superman later. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah. What could you say to that?
Who could compete?
But yeah.
He's Superman.
But this guy's really nice. He's got a job in insurance.
This guy's Percy, right? Yeah. Anyway, she messes up her hair, puts on these big, weird glasses, puts on like a 20s flapper dress.
I don't like the flapper dress, but I like her hair and glasses.
It's just goofy.
I mean, if you saw this, she is a new wave girl or something like that.
Sure.
It's not that. It's kind of common now, but I guess it's really bizarre.
Remember, this is 1958.
Right.
Nobody's doing anything like that. So it's really weird.
But I think she's far more attractive without the mom hair.
Yeah, I really don't like the mom hair.
Yeah, but all right. But her date is appalled. So they go to a dance, and everybody's laughing at them and at both of them. And so Lois says, "Oh, I got a headache. I need to go home." And so, sure, let's go home. But Clark notices, and he is ticked off because
that's a nasty thing to do.
Yeah, so Clark does something even nastier. Lois dresses up nice, although she looks like Annie Hall because she has a vest on.
Yeah. This is way before Annie Hall.
Right. Mm-hmm. So they have a romantic evening. They're in a boat, and I think he says, "Let me show you my secret apartment." So they go to his apartment, and he shows all the masks he has, and he says, "Oh, well, I'm wearing a mask right now." And it's really? So he takes it off, and it's Alfred E. Newman.
Yeah, he looks like the guy from Mad Magazine.
Oh, and it startled me when I saw that.
Really?
Because I wasn't expecting that. But I didn't know what to expect.
Sure.
And which is a great thing about Superman. Sometimes you're totally astonished.
Yeah.
And which is nice.
Well, I think that's the desired effect, so you know the story's done well.
But normally in comics, movies, and TV shows,
these things are telegraphed a mile away.
Right. I'm happy because one of those collections that has the Lion Superman, which you read earlier.
Right, in one of the 80-page giants or an annual.
The ugly Superman, and now here's the goofy Superman.
Yeah.
And I've never read that. I hadn't read the Lion, and I hadn't read the goofy one.
And now we have read them both.
Yeah. I did read the
The
G.
Uglies.
Olsen with he turns into a lion. Because he has to turn himself into a creature.
Right,
And he
I
says-
remember that.
And he says, "I'll turn myself into a lion, so women will lionize me."
Yeah, and it's so funny because people don't use that term anymore.
Right.
It's just fallen out of fashion.
I've seen it a couple times, but yeah, it's not that popular.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago
No.
that we read that one.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
All right, so Alfred E. Newman is not a happy, nice-looking guy. Well, he's a happy guy, but he's not nice-looking.
no,
He's
he's goofy
super
looking.
Yeah, and it's definitely Alfred E. Newman, and I think that the world of comic book writers is a small one, and they're all friends. And
Yeah, I mean, remember, all of these guys, people who are working in comics, almost all of them are in New York City on Madison Avenue. Mad Magazine, their offices, DC Comics, which are national periodicals, and Marvel, they're all work on the same street.
right,
These people go to lunch to each other. They all know each other. They send each other's Christmas cards. Their wives are friends.
right,
So that's a thing.
yeah, and Mad did Super Duper Man, which is a great.
Yes, in the early 50s, when Mad was still a comic book,
Yeah,
not the black and white magazine. Yes, Super Duper Man was a story in the comic book days when it was under EC Comics, and Wally Wood drew that story.
really.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see Wood do humor. He's
Yeah.
really good at it, but you tend to think of him as the science fiction guy, superhero guy.
Mhm. Oh, the soft porn guy. Yeah,
The what?
soft porn guy.
Yeah. And later in his career, he would
Yeah,
do.
He does good girl art. So.
Yeah, later in his career, he would do like erotic comics, like Sally Forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Oh, but those old Mad comic books are wonderful.
They are. Yes,
They're
they are.
fantastic. Maybe it's the best comics ever. Maybe I don't know.
But they're pretty terrific, and great art in all those by Wood and Harvey Kurtzman and Jack Davis and
Wolverton.
Wolverton did some in those days. I love Basil Wolverton. I just picked up another collection of Basil Wolverton stuff at a swap meet yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway.
All right. So, Goofy Superman takes Lois to a date, to a dance, and she knows the people there, and they're making fun of her, and they're really catty. Hi, Lois.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're laughing and taking pictures. They think that she went out with a clown because he's in a Superman costume because she's so crazy about Superman.
Yeah.
And he's really embarrassed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's great.
So Superman proposes to her and says, "Well, if you're at my place by noon, I know you really mean it,
Yeah.
even though I'm really ugly." So the next day, she gets there 5 minutes till noon. He looks out and he uses his X-ray vision and melts the door so it won't open. So she's there trapped for 5 minutes.
Right.
Oh, but before that, there's a shootout, and Superman protects his face, and then Lois says, "Wait a minute, why is he protecting his face? Because he's invulnerable. He
Right.
must be wearing a mask."
Yeah. So the jig is up.
Yeah. So Lois is going to marry him, but she never gets out of. So Superman comes out 5 minutes after noon. So I guess it's over with, and then he lets Lois out. She says, "I know I did wrong, and you're just showing me how bad I was.
Yeah.
And next time you propose me, you'll really mean it." And I love this. This is so good.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know. It's kind of mean. Yeah, they're kind of mean pranks, but I don't know. People learn, and it's not nice to treat people that way.
No, it isn't.
So, and the way you find out is being treated the same way you treated somebody else,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is always a bitter pill. So,
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Comic Reflections is recorded in Portland, Oregon, and produced by Sean Roof. Until next time.
See you in the funny pages.